Hi, my name is Taylor Sands, and this is my Denver Zoo Comprehensive Plan for Management Information Systems. I'm briefly going to go over some of the key issues that the Denver Zoo events team faces and how information system strategies can help solve those issues. The Denver Zoo is a nonprofit organization owned and run by the City and County of Denver, located in City Park. In 2019, their operating revenue was over $43 million, with 31% of that coming from special events, including zoo lights, corporate private parties, and other large events put on by the events team. As of right now, the events team does not have a structured organizational system that they use to run their day-to-day tasks. They work with both inter-zoo departmental groups as well as outside vendors, including KM Catering, event butlers, private entertainers, and more, and they have no way of tracking information or requests sent to those parties. This causes day of errors due to miscommunication or lack of tracking data information. The Denver Zoo's strategic imperatives include their mission to secure a better world for animals through human understanding, their vision to continuously innovate to inspire life-changing human and animal connections, and to develop a future state operating model that meets the needs and ensures future growth for the Denver Zoo. In the executive overview, I've issued some key problems, proposed solutions, and projected outcomes for the Denver Zoo events team, as well as the Denver Zoo organization as a whole. Currently, they lack concise communication processes between departments. They use outdated systems and practices for requests and tracking data, and they have a weak IT infrastructure around the park. I suggest that they create a new customized software system that will allow for them to organize and track data, a new hardware and internet infrastructure to support those tasks of the software system, and to create new products and services for global reach for new clients. Hopefully, this will help for streamline communication for the event staff and other departments around the zoo, to create a system for data storage and tracking for all clients' personal data, and to have heightened Wi-Fi infrastructure around the park and security to protect the data. First is the information systems evaluation and strategy. As you can see from the diagram, the event services team works with both clients outside of the zoo as well as catering teams and departments inside of the zoo, including animal care and education. It's important for the IT staff at the Denver Zoo to work with all of the teams to create unified partnerships to help communication and to figure out how to track information such as contracts, animal demo and education requests, catering contracts, client information and credit cards, and reporting past clients' data to project future data and to get new clients. In order to do this, the IT team should run a systems requirement analysis by sitting down with each department and recognizing the tasks that they need to do during the day and what functions in a system would need to be in place to help those tasks. They will also need to do an inventory check of all existing hardware around the zoo in order to know what they need to upgrade and install throughout the zoo to help with these tasks. As far as looking at the zoo model and what they need for this program to be successful, I suggest a software as a service system, and sometimes these systems can be costly and they can take a lot of time to implement, so it's important for the IT team to sit down and evaluate which systems would be the best for them and their budget. They will also want to look at security capability and requirements that can go with their SaaS system to protect the data that will be uploaded into their system. And they should also look at business intelligence platforms such as Tableau so that they can take the data that they're storing and evaluate it for future projections and to evaluate the work that the zoo is doing currently. Lastly, the IT team will want to use success metrics to make sure that their system that they have built is working properly. And some of those IT metrics include employee activity or defining missing or flawed system functions in the system, and application capability to make sure the system is effectively meeting the business requirements and goals of this project. As far as the IT system layout, as you can see from the aerial view of the Denver Zoo, a lot of the park is open space and lacks a lot of business or building infrastructure, and the Wi-Fi capabilities around the zoo are very low. When they're looking at their hardware needs, including specific programs like laptops, desktops, monitors, printers, and more to help with these business functions, they also want to look at systems that can help boost Wi-Fi capabilities. One of the things that I have come about in my research for this project is fiber optic cables that can help the infrastructure of the Wi-Fi capabilities around the zoo. Next is global information systems and web-enabled commerce. Both of these things can help the zoo in several ways. With global information systems, they can use programs to learn from other countries on effective systems and platforms to use for their data tracking. One of the ones that I came up with is Species 360, which is a program from England where zoos can upload their animal information and catalog their data and also participate in global research for animals. This will help with the animal care team to take care of the things that they need to track to make sure that they're doing their job properly and to make sure that the animals are taken care of and that their data is stored properly. The next way that the zoo can use web-enabled commerce is by big data collection of online ticket sales, as well as adding new revenue streams. As you can see from the picture next to the slide, there are web cameras that zoos can use to let people around the world keep up with their animal enclosures. The zoo can use technology to enable this service, and they can charge a small fee for people to be able to access the cameras, which will not only bring in new revenue, but also collect data on the people using their system and their online services. And this can help collect data to help them reach a larger audience by analyzing the type of people coming to their site and using target marketing through the data that they collect. The Denver Zoo already works in a global marketplace with their conservation programs. They're currently located in Botswana, Mongolia, Peru, Vietnam, and other locations around the world, helping to conserve wildlife inhabitants and to learn how to protect our animals. We can use technology to be able to offer virtual reality experiences, which would not only bring in an additional revenue stream to the Denver Zoo, but it would also help foster the Denver Zoo's mission to teach its community about animals and their inhabitants and how they can help with conservation projects. The only issue with offering services like a virtual reality camera option for people around the world is that most of these places that they're partaking in conservation projects are in low infrastructure or remote locations that don't have access to Wi-Fi. There are several things the Denver Zoo can do to work with local governments to help enable this system. Right now, the U.S. is looking at options to convert rural telephone services to subsidized broadband internet, and this can be copied in other areas around the world. In fact, in Botswana, where Denver Zoo does one of their conservation projects, the Botswanian government is looking into a 3-year project where they are going to implement fiber optic deployment and 5G infrastructure around the country to offer rural villages internet access, which will not only help the global economy as a whole, but educate people on other parts of the world. As a Christian, I believe that this is a very big deal, that we can use technology to bring people together around the world. And as God is the one who creates knowledge and gives us the power to access our knowledge, it's a great thing to be able to use technology in a beneficial way like this. Some of the lessons that I've learned throughout this project is that data analytics are essential to growing a business and gaining competitive advantage. By analyzing the data collected in a business owners can look for future projections and to see where they might be lacking in their business services and can provide optimal service for a more effective market competition. Using technologies based on needs and goals. There are many types of technologies that companies can implement in their business strategy, and it's important for them to do research on what would be the best for their business needs and to choose what would allow them for the most competitive advantage. Thirdly, innovation is key, and it's happening all the time, and technology is necessary for companies to stay afloat and to compete with their surrounding marketplace. It's important for business owners to continuously do research to see what is new in their industry and to try to mimic it or even create their own systems that could lead the next part of their business ventures. And lastly, technology can benefit the world around us. Again, as a Christian, I feel that God provides us knowledge and He is the creator of all things. And when we use technology to benefit the world around us, we're not only helping ourselves, but we're helping others. Incredible things have come out of technology, including medical advances and ways to clean up our earth and protect not only ourselves, but our neighbors and our animals around the world. And it's our duty to look after one another and to act in a manner where we only have good intentions with the things that we create and use. In conclusion, for the Denver Zoo, if they implement a new software strategy that will integrate the zoo's business into one organized system, it'll allow every department to access data, and it'll help with a cohesive business environment, and it'll boost the effectiveness of the events team strategies. Technology can bring more business to the zoo, both domestically and internationally, by offering web commerce options like the virtual reality experience, and it'll also allow for the Denver Zoo to collect data on their clients so that they can better effectively target their marketing to a specific audience. Integrating security and business intelligence programs can also enhance the new system. As I just mentioned, it can help with analyzing their data so that they can choose the types of business initiatives that they would like to run and to make sure that they're effectively reaching a target market that will give them better business. And lastly, companies like the Denver Zoo need to adapt to changing technologies to stay relevant. Innovation is a big part of the technology market, and it's constantly changing, and businesses that can keep up with the local trends and implement them quickly will usually have competitive advantage and will keep them doing well in the future. Thank you.